that kind of works. I think that kind of works. Things that I'm trying to capture in the scene here. Set it up nice and neat, so I want you to appreciate. I want you to appreciate that setting up. Okay. All right. Alright, I think this almost, man. I'm sorry, it just gotta be perfect, right? I just gotta get a perfect shot, perfect scene. Now, the only thing is left is for you to see, if I bring it down, I actually can bring it down a little bit more. And I think I can bring it down. What's up, Bandit? Hey, thank you so much, man. Hey, again, as always, I appreciate you for showing up, being loyal, tapping in, tuning in, you know what I'm saying, and engaging with the content. It is so appreciated. It's so appreciated. And so I got the orientation different. So I got to make sure I pay attention, because once it pops up, your chat disappears. So as you can see, I am in a good mood, just celebrating. Thank you for the like, thank you for the like. Just celebrating. I got my shirt on, you know what I'm saying? Matching my book. So, Tangential Thoughts. I'm at my pastor house. All chat messages available. Yeah, I'm at my pastor house. And so that way I think I don't gotta worry about the signal, you know what I'm saying, dropping. I can keep the signal straight. So, but before we hop into our episode of Candle Talk, I do want to celebrate the fact that my book is here. So, Tangential Thoughts, version 2, Project Extinction, PJ, XTN, CTN. And I'm loving it. You see me right there. And that's all you see on the book. Ain't no summaries and stuff there. Nope. This is my book. And you see the design. You see the asteroids coming, just like the asteroids here. And they both match in that red, white, and black. So this is clean. As you've been saying, my other book is black. But this one's white, and it's like that inverted color. So I'm loving it. So Project Extinction, version 2, Tangential Thoughts version 2 is available, and it's up. I'm thinking about how I'm making some visuals today, but until I make those, until I get there yet, I want to do an episode of Candle Talk. I'm gonna do an episode of Candle Talk. Put the book back. I'm gonna do an episode of Candle Talk. I'm just gonna get a copy of your book, $9.99. $10 a good person. Bam! That's the Kindle version. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. And so, but you can definitely tap in and read that junk, bro. And then, you know what I'm saying, comment on, let me know what you think about that junk, bro. No funny stuff. And then, let me get this candle lit real quick. And we'll jump into... We'll get this candle lit, and then we'll jump into the Candle Talk. And so, all messages are visible. All right. And then I'll look at the quotes and my reactions to... Right now, watching Peaky Blinders, I'm on season 3, episode 5. So yesterday I went... This season ain't as, hectic or as big and grandiose as seasons 1 and season 2. Season 3 started off super chill, so I just kept watching it because I wasn't writing down as many quotes. So I went and I had the time, and so I watched episodes 1 through 4. I went and watched episodes 1 through 4. And so I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I read from here. Y'all want to check out the book? I'm going to buy a copy. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for tapping in. Man, shout out to my bandit, yo. He show up every day in the chat heavy, clicking on the links, liking, commenting. You was commenting on everything. I'm proud of you. No, well, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you over and over and over again. Like, I really do appreciate you, man. So we got the candle. Thank you for the like. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we got the candle lit. We're gonna let the candle burn. I'm gonna let that candle burn. I'm gonna get some chapstick. Now, I'm gonna do my reading whatever. I'm gonna try to look out for the chats. But when I got it in this orientation, the chats disappeared, so I'm gonna just keep checking periodically. The reason I say that is because this fit too hard, right? With the jacket, I put another cigar band on the jacket, on the sleeve. Then, you couple that with the shades. That with the shades and the daggone and my book. Where it's like, why you wearing shades in the house? Because. So let me see if I possibly get a little closer. So I can still make sure I can read it or whatever. But we're gonna do candle talk. You can't hear me? Is that on my end or is that on your end? You hear no audio from my video, or do you gotta turn your camera volume up? Turn the volume up. It's my phone. Okay. All right, bet. So I'll just check the chat every once in a while, but I'm gonna go ahead and read. I'm gonna read what I wrote down from. Let's see the salon chat. Miss Fearless Soul, congratulations on the new book and the new merchandise. Before you ask about Peaky Blinders. Before you ask about Peaky Blinders, no, I haven't watched it. I haven't been well. I had a migraine today, so I just been resting. Okay. Nah, hey, you know what? I appreciate your honesty. Yeah, turn your volume up, bro. All right, so, but yeah, all these together, look too good. The book, the shirt, the jacket, the shades, all that joint is too cool, man. So I gotta figure out how to make some visuals. I gotta figure out how to make these visuals today. Cause I also learned how to clone myself in the video on CapCut. So and you know me, I've been working on, you know what I'm saying, growing, being a better artist every day. Woohoo, and double blessings to you. Double back to you. Miss Feeling So, always tapping in, tuning in, blessing everybody, sharing the good word, sharing the gospel. All right. So I'm going to give you my reactions to quotes and what was going on season 3 of Peaky Blinders. So in the first episode, okay, the end of last season, he said, I'm going to get married. She sending blessings to you, bro. That's what she do. She bless everybody. So at the end of season 2, Tommy look at Michael and says, I'm getting married. And I'm like, oh shit, who he gonna marry? So the reason that it becomes who he gonna marry, because it's the girl May and it's Grace. Grace popped up talking when she was pregnant with a baby. And so I wanted him to date May, man. I thought May was much more in line with who he was and where he wanted to go. But he ends up marrying Grace. He marries Grace. Now, mind you, she did get pregnant with his baby, so It was the respectable thing to do. And he, you know what I'm saying, he did fall in love with her first. So, but I like May better. I like May better. Then, oh, so it happens like it happens like a 2 year later type of thing, and so some time has gone past, and the whole family bossed up now. The whole family done bossed up, and they show you this family portrait. They show you this family portrait, and I think that's hot, yo. Like, I painted a portrait of myself, but when I have my own family, I'm an artist. I'm definitely going to paint our family picture and put that up. Like, I'm going to be, I'm the artist in the family. I'm going to paint the picture of my wife, me, my wife, and my kids. And so I just seeing a painted family portrait, I think that's dope. Next. So the night they get married, he says, "Hello, Mrs. Shelby." And, you know, as a man, that's so cool. You know what I'm saying? I think that's so cool as a man. You sit down and you're like, there's a day that you're going to say, "Hello, Mrs." You know what I'm saying? Whoever you give your last name to. And just your first time saying that, and it's official. Like, I just married you. I just gave you my last name. "Hello, Mrs." You know what I'm saying? Hello, saying hello to your Mrs. I think that was dope. And then Nikola Jokic. He tough. He a solid player. He not super flashy. He come in and do his work. And that's all you want. You want a player to just show up. You want to show a player who gonna do what they gotta do. He passed the ball. He shoot the three. He stretched the floor. Nikola, he won back-to-back MVP, didn't he? It's the reason why. He's a solid player. The next thing I wrote down, he looked at his brother Arthur and he says, because, you know, Arthur gets just not all the way there in the head. You know what I'm saying? Arthur not all the way there. And so he's like, but at the same time, it's his wedding day. Arthur was the best man. And Arthur has to give a speech. So they're like, yo, they don't really know what Arthur's going to say. He might slip up and say a little too much. And so they kind of cut Arthur off and giving his speech. But he says, but he needs Arthur. So he looks at Arthur and he says, yo, you're my best man every day. Well, and I forget, damn, I don't know this next part of I wrote. I don't know the next part I wrote. But yeah, he said, you're my best man every day. He's like, I need you. So that's what I got from episode 1. Now, episode 2, I wrote a lot more down from episode 2. So the first thing I wrote down for episode 2, he said, oh, they talking to John. Now he looks at John, he says, you chose not to listen to Mr. Apologize or Mrs. Compromise. And so Arthur had told John to apologize. Polly had told John to compromise. John goes over there and cuts the boy's face. And so Tommy says, you chose not to listen to Mr. Apologize or Mrs. Compromise. And then so he's looking at him, he's like, yo, so should he apologize in Italian or English? And so they all scared because so what they were trying to do, they didn't want a war. They're trying to make John go be peaceful. But John went over there and beat the boy up. So the next thing Tom says, the only way to guarantee peace is by removing the prospect of war so that it seems hopeless. And that's a mentality that Tommy has that he really tries to just, you know what I'm saying, is instilled in the family. He says the only way to guarantee peace is by making the prospect of war seem hopeless. Like, if people think that they can rebel against you. Okay, good. If people think that they can rebel against you, or if people even think that they can go to war with you, they ain't gonna try it. So he says the only way to guarantee peace is by removing the prospect, making the prospect of war seem hopeless. Like, don't even think that you can go to war with me. Don't even think that it's gonna be even acceptable for you to do a slight rebellion. None of that is, you know what I'm saying, removing that. And so they're like, why? You know what I'm saying? She said, why? And he says, because we can. And because if we can, we do. And so I like that as well. And the reason I kind of like that is because are you doing all that you can just because you can? And that was his only thing. His only thing was, he's like, they was like, why do we need to do this? He said, because we can. And if we can, we do. Oh, I can smell my candle better here. The candle, I can't smell it as well in the Jeep, but I smell it down here. It smells good. Next. The next thing I wrote down was how excited Grace was when he came home. And that's something that's cool too as well. Like, they say that a cow has to produce milk, a chicken has to produce eggs, but what does a dog do? You know what I'm saying? What does a dog do? A dog is happy when you come home. A dog is going to greet you at the door. A dog is going to be excited that you're around. And so I like, as soon as he comes home, Grace is excited to see him. And she's just telling him about this, about that, da da da, boom, boom, boom. And I just like how she was excited to talk to him. He gives her a sapphire. And he puts it on her neck. The next thing I wrote down was, working in the dark is for the devil. I like that. And then the last thing I wrote down was, so one of my manifestations, I am manifesting a white Doberman. And so if you have never seen an albino white Doberman, go look it up. But the dude pops up with a Doberman. I'm like, oh, that's the dog I want. I want the Doberman. I want the Doberman. So to see a Doberman pop up in the show, that was cool. I don't know why. Like, I had Bailey, and Bailey is super friendly, but I'm wishing for a Doberman. I want an albino white Doberman. All right, next. Oh, while he's looking at the Doberman, right? The dude is sitting here trying to talk to Arthur, talk to Tommy, and he trying to talk to Tommy, but what does Tommy say? Oh, Tommy's like, what's the name of your dog? And so they having two different conversations. The dude is telling Tommy about what's going on, and Tommy's only asking him questions about the dog. So he'll say something to Tommy, and Tommy's like, what's the name for your dog? And he said something about something else, and Tommy's like, you got a name, boy? And he's talking to the dog. And then he asks him something else, and he's like, I think I'll just call your dog Boy. He said, let him off the leash. And he said that when you on a boat with the dog, he says, I can charm any dog. And if I can't charm it, I can kill it with my hands. And he said it's something that you learn on a boat. And I thought that was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when you're watching shows, they can give you little hints and tidbits of like actual true fact. And that might have been a real thing. Like, sailors or pirates might have actually had to kill dogs, or just, you know what I'm saying, learn how to kill a dog with their bare hands if the dog ever got rogue or, you know what I'm saying, decided to snap. And you think that's something that you kind of have to do. Like, you even seen it on, what's the movie with Will Smith? I Am Legend. I Am Legend, that dog, daggone, was about to turn into a zombie, was about to go crazy. And Will just had to kill the dog. I like what the artist said to the woman. He said it to Polly. Polly was looking good. Polly was dressed all up fancy. He said, I painted many women who don't belong in their expensive dresses. And then at the end of episode 2, Grace got shot. Grace got shot. So these last few is all I got from episode 3 and 4. Again, I didn't write too much. Now I'm down here now. Didn't write too much. But from episode 3, so Tommy's looking at his son, who now doesn't have a mother, and he was like, his son is only like 1 or 2 years old. His son don't know what he's talking about, but his son is asking for mama. You know what I'm saying? And the mom just got shot. The mom is dead. So he looks at the boy and he says, let's get something straight. The photographs and the clothes, I'm gonna leave them right where they were. And, you know, that's tough. You know what I'm saying? As a parent, as a father, to be able to say that, to look at your child and be like, you can't ask for mama no more. You know what I'm saying? She not here. But I'm going to keep her clothes. I'm going to keep her pictures. I'm going to keep the memory of her present. But you can't ask for her no more. And that's just tough. He got to grow up. He got to grow up without a mom. And he low-key, right now, he still has tendencies to call out for her, to ask for her. And so, man, but I mean, if you're going to have to lose a parent, would you rather lose your parent when you're younger, or would you rather lose your parent when you're older? And so, I guess it's okay that he grows up with her, he learns to live the majority without her, than a majority with her, and then having to learn how to live without her. You know what I'm saying? That's just something to think about. Next one. Two more quotes. Next one, he says, Polly says, I wasn't educated at all. And the artist looks back at her and says, what is there to learn anyway? And that's something to sit there and think about, yo. Like, what was life like before school? What was life like before school? Like, what do you really have to learn anyway? Like, what's the purpose of going to school? Like, if you don't go to school, does that mean you will or won't be successful? What do you really have to learn from school? And don't you learn more from experience anyway? And stuff like that. Things to think about, right? And then these last ones come from episode 4. And this is Polly. Polly says, do you think God calls me Paul or Polly? And I thought that was so cool because you got to sit there and think about, and this is my last one for real. You got to sit there and think about, you call yourself something, right? You got a name. But what does God call you? Who does God refer to you as? And that's a dope question to think about. Who does God refer to you as? What does God call you? You know, when Jacob was wrestling, I believe it was Jacob. When Jacob was wrestling with God, God looked at him and said, your name is Israel. From now on, your name is Israel. So what if God has another name for you? And then the last thing I wrote down was, you break the law, but obey the rules. Why is that? And the girl, the Duchess was trying to understand them. Now, hearing all this Russian is attractive to me. I'm looking and thinking like, yo, why this Russian sounds real good. Sounds super attractive, right? And why are accents so attractive to us? Why are accents so attractive? I'm attracted to like Russian accents or just accents in general and stuff, right? Makes me want a Russian. Cause I remember like, surely that I'm gonna be with, I'm gonna call her the Duchess. But that's what they call it. That's what they do in Russia. They say the Duchess. And then, so the Duchess was the young one, but then there's the Grand Duchess. So that's some dynamic to all think about. Like even if you look at Caesar, Czar, like there's the CZAR, but then there's also Tsar. There's also TSAR, which is that Russian one. There's been a couple of Russian Tsars. There's been a couple of Caesars. These are like dictators, real live rulers from back in the day. I'm curious to name, like, I'm not curious to name, I'm interested in all those names of what were rulers called. Like you had pharaohs, you got kings, you got rulers, you got dictators, you got monarchs, you got Caesars, you got Tsars. Now Mussolini, yeah, Mussolini, Adolf, and they were all called dictators. But I feel like conquistadors, all those names for rulers. All those names for rulers. Now, America has a president. Yeah, president. There's still kings though. There's still kings that do exist. Like in Saudi Arabia. Certain kings still exist. Yeah, it's always cool to look at who are the top officials called in different countries. In those names. Alright. We got to that one really quick. Yeah, so like I said, season 3 it's been chill in comparison to season 1 and season 2. So I'm gonna definitely finish season 3 today, and then that will be the next episode of Candle Talk. It'll be episodes 5 and 6. So thank you for your time, energy, patience, and attention. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Candle Talk. And celebrating the arrival of my second book, So I'll probably be doing a tarot read later. And that way, when I do that, you'll see both books, version 1 and version 2. Super dope. All right. I'll see you on the next episode of Candle Talk.